story another day. There is always something that motivates us to keep fighting, especially in FACO. FACO has the largest concentration of terrorist troops. FACO has the largest concentration of military camps. FACO had a shakeup when some of our brothers and sisters decided to destroy FACO. But you know what? FACO is bouncing back. I know during the past few days, some people have been a little bit disillusioned with some events on home front. But I want to assure everyone here that this administration will never rest until FACO is totally restored. Because without FACO, we will never be able to attain our independence or to actualize our independence. In every situation of war, the capital of the country is the target by the enemy, and it should also be the place where we as ambassadors work as hard as possible to liberate. Because if we liberate FACO, then we have won the war. So, well, I was born in Victoria, so Mr. Chairman, Mr. Mulanik, you know I'm drafting in Victoria, so I just want to end it there and ask Paddy Director Paddy to usher in the president so he can give us one of his masterpieces. I always like to listen to the president's speech because he's such a good speech writer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Paddy, over to you.
The President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, addresses the nation in a moment. Stay tuned.
Let me begin by acknowledging my hardworking Vice President who hails from Victoria and patriot of the struggle, Mr. Eric Ate, the Speaker of the Interim House of Representatives, the Right Honorable Dr. Winnie Lobati, Ms. Dorothy Ngwa, the Chairlady of Ethics Committee, and Barrister Besia, Chairman of the Judicial Council, all honorable members of Cabinet here present, all members of government, and my special presidential entourage. My close collaborators in Cabinet, Dr. Mbua Louis, Secretary of State for Economy, Investment and Natural Resources, Molafike Monono, Deputy Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, Iya Eli Jambelele, Chairperson of the Intergovernmental Oversight Committee and Director of Planning and Internal Controls at the Presidency, Iya Emma Endele, the Director General of ABC Amber Television, At the local and county levels, Mola Jimmy Jakai, Fako County Coordinator and Chairman Buea Local Government Area. Mola Nick, Victoria Local Government Chair and Acting Chair for Tiko Local Government Area. Patom, Moyuka Local Government Chair. Interim House of Representatives, Honorable Iya Esther, Representative for Buea, Honorable Walter Chair, Representative for Victoria, Honorable Obasanjo, Representative for Moyuka. Dear citizens of the great county of Fako, our Federal Capital Territory, fellow Ambazonians, it is always the delight of the host to be served last after ensuring all her guests are satisfied. Tonight, we are drafting our capital territory, the seat of the institutional power of Ambazonia, hosted in our capital, Buea, our ultimate destination in this liberation marathon and the epithet of our liberation endeavor. It is only befitting for us to crown our marathon county draft tour in this citadel of power that spans across the colonial, the significant, historic, and hospitable great county of Fako. I salute our men and women of courage and decency, Democrats par excellence, who were once here as members of parliament and ministers of government of the Southern Cameroons prior to the 1966, before Ahijo brutally vandalized and dissolved our government. Let's remember those government officials and MPs who were pursued and eliminated by Ahijo's thugs using various means. Let's lay our wreaths on the graves of our first head of state, His Excellency Dr. EML Endele, and also the latter-day patriot of our struggle, Mola Njo Litumbe, who left us in the heat of our present existential battle. I pray that God gives us a measure of their wisdom, their courage, their foresight, and their tenacity. Let us celebrate these legends and all our innocent comrades targeted and killed by La République du Cameroon since 1961, especially our valiant volunteer soldiers, ARFs, who took up the patriotic duty of defending our homeland. So a moment of silence, please. Their blood has paved our revolutionary path to Buea, and we shall not give up until we reach that promised land. May they rest in power. Fellow compatriots, once more we are here in Buea, the spiritual birthplace of our common identity, the land of our Federal Capital Territory, a place that was chosen providentially by the Germans and the British to serve as our capital territory. My father originated from Buea, but my ancestors, like that of every original Bakri man, are from Bomboko. My mother was from Moyuka, but her ancestry is Oroko in Meme, Ndian. I was born and bred in Tiko and grew up in the CDC plantations. I schooled in Tiko and became a man in Victoria. So where is my local government of origin? Is it Bonge, Moyuka, Buea, Bomboko, Tiko, or Victoria? A friend of mine also was a proud plantation boy I grew up with in Tiko. His father was from Mamfe, his mother was from Bui, but grew up in Kwenza. My friend got married to a girl whose father was from Dian and her mother was from Buea. They have a boy, a baby boy, who is now one of our ARFs in Tiko, defending the colors of our restored nation. What is that child's LGA of origin? If it took you more than 10 seconds to answer any of my two questions, then you sure need deliverance from the La Republique divide and rule syndrome. It is a major disease I pray God should deliver all Ambazonians from, because without thinking, my friend's child's local government of origin is Tico, and I should be from Tico. But some of us want to define an Ambazonian by the place of birth of either of one's parents or by the origin of the names we bear or the places of origin of one's ancestry. Seriously? What's wrong with defining our identities by the place of our birth or elected place of residence? Why don't we find a formula that makes Ambazonia our sole and most important identifier? If you see me as a FACO president and not as Ambazonian president first and foremost, that is, you have been positively diagnosed for the most dangerous La Republican virus. More dangerous than COVID and Ebola. La Republique divided us along tribal lines for far too long that these lines have become indelible gutters in our collective psyche. No more again. La Republique has been very surprised that from the consortium to the interim government, Ambazonia has redefined itself. A few infected Ambazonians, the sick ones, are still asking our ARS to go back to their place of origin and fight there. And by that they mean where their parents were born. Some want even to measure my job approval rate by what goes on in FACO and not what is happening in Dian, Libialem, Mezam, Momo, Koketunja, or Bui. And let me ask you, is the IG funding only FACO where I was born? Beware of corrupt propagandists. Those wannabe leaders making such comparisons are not ready to lead in a new Ambazonia. Should we also judge them by what is happening in their counties and how much they are contributing minus what the rest of Ambazonia is doing for them? Let's put that aside. My dear friends and sympathizers of the struggle, in my address to the nation 2 days ago, I explained to you how Dictator Biya of La République du Cameroon and his regime have rejected every opportunity to dialogue with us on the issue of our failed union of two states of equal status. They have always considered us as their subordinates and our relationship with them as one between a master and his slaves. We have been very unequal in a relationship that was designed to be between two states of equal status. As we all know, masters don't consult with their slaves, they order them around. To the Franco-Bulu colonialists, we are subhumans. They think they have the right to treat us as they chose because we belong to them. When we react to condemn what they are doing to us, they feel insulted. In their twisted minds, it is an act of humiliation for La République du Cameroon to be seen talking to insignificant people like us. They spit on our faces and ask us to smile. And when we dare to frown, they come close to our ears and whisper, "Hey, continue to smile or else." These are monsters from another planet. And God knows how we survived their cruelty all these years. Whenever they refuse to hold genuine dialogue with us, they are simply asserting their presumed superiority. They have been riding on this very high horse for 61 years now and never thought that this day shall come when the basis for their assumptions of superiority will be questioned or challenged. Today, the baby princess that used to mingle with the servants in the palace has come of age to take her place among the heirs to the throne, and her bullies are wondering if this is for real. Yes, it is. Amazonia is reason to fall no more. Denial will not work Criminalization of Ambazonia will not work. Intimidation will not work. Bribery through backdoor talks with some Ambazonians will not work. Genuine mediated dialogue is the only possible viable solution. Hating or even killing the messenger does not change or cancel the message, because the messenger may be temporal, but the message is eternal. Cameroon has rejected every recommendation given to them by well-meaning international stakeholders. They were asked by the United States in 2018 to abandon the military option because it will fail them. They refused. They were advised in 2019 by major stakeholders like the US and the EU to release all our political prisoners. They refused. They were advised by the EU, by the USA, by Canada and AU and Switzerland to go for mediated dialogue between La République du Cameroon and Ambazonia. They refused. They were advised to go for dialogue without preconditions, to examine the root causes of the southern Cameroon's problem. They refused. Every measure taken by La République, on the contrary, in their stupidity to end this war, has failed them woefully. The solution to the Ambazonia war is somewhere inside their trash dumps in Etude. Only a fool will go on recycling his failed formulas instead of trying the French formula they rejected. They tried bilingualism commission, failed them. Grand national monologue, it failed them. Special status failed them. Regional councils failed. DDR failed. Reconstruction failed. BIR elite forces failed. Garde présidentielle failed. Red Berets of Kutaba failed. Special forces failed. Mercenaries from Semak failed. They are leaning on Russia, Spain, and Egypt also will fail. And now that bogus Cameroon initiative in Canada too is another failure loading. Let me tell you the difference between mediated talks and that talks that the IG endorses versus unmediated talks that La République du Cameroon is trying to engineer. Unmediated talks mean direct talks with La République du Cameroon. The IG will not engage in unmediated talks with people who have issued a death warrant on 8 million Ambazonians. Those who want to hold direct talks with La République may as well go and meet Biya in Yaoundé, because direct talks need no official observers, no guarantors, no third-party guarantees of security to anyone, and no international standing. Also, direct talks can be held in private, but mediated talks are public knowledge and well structured. Mediated talks lead to negotiations between the two sides, the warring sides. Direct talks lead to secret compromise and quid pro quo. Mediated talks are internationally mandated talks with official intermediaries. This is the model used to resolve liberation wars and the wars between countries. The IG will only take part in mediated talks with La République du Cameroon that will lead to a comprehensive negotiated settlement. If La République du Cameroon had any reasons to dismiss the Swiss as mediator, they should find another if they want to engage the IG in any talks. We cannot refuse to talk. They cannot refuse to talk with us in the office, so they can talk with us in corridors. We have learned a lot from the Swiss-led process and cannot be taken again for a ride by war hawks in Yaoundé playing games. Anything short of mediated talks in any prospective talks is a non-starter for the IG. We will not participate in or waste our time with informal talks, corridor talks, feel-good seminars by La République's civil society activists, or barbecue with avowed One Cameroon apologists who have limited or no stakes in this liberation war. We are 6 years into this war, and when we take any actions, we not only represent the living, we represent our tens of thousands that have been mercilessly butchered by this barbaric regime of La République du Cameroon in Yaoundé. We must make sure they did not die in vain. Therefore, as long as no seriousness is put into any international mediated talks, our only option is to keep defending our people and making hell out of the enemy's presence in our territory. Let it be known that surrender has been banished from the Ambazonian revolutionary lexicon. We will fight the enemy until they crawl to a negotiation table. And if their ego is too big to be swallowed, we will kick them out of our land in the most humiliating way that is befitting of their cowardly acts of genocide and scorched earth strategy. To say this liberation fight is a generational fight is limited. Actually, it is a multi-generational fight, if need be. We have overcome the most difficult threshold of every revolutionary struggle, which is mental emancipation. Our strategic revolutionary education and the subhuman treatment of our people for more than 60 years have cemented the yearning for freedom that burns in every liberation struggle. They thought they have done enough to demoralize the spirit of our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces. No, they were mistaken. The determined people of Ambazonia came out in their millions on our Independence Day, just recently, to defy the enemy and to remind the genocidal thugs that they cannot kill their way out of this conflict. This is the spirit of Ambazonia, a resilient, relentless people who have taken their destiny into their hands. Ambazonia is free. Dear ARFs of Fako County, our federal capital territory, fellow comrades in arms, you proceed from the lineage of the great Kuvali Kenya, the warrior king of the Bakure forest. If he was alive today, I think he would have endorsed the name Mountain Lion because he was the king of the jungle. He fought with sticks, spears, and machetes against the ruthless German army that was armed to the teeth, but Kuvali Kenya defeated them. Today, you have assault weapons, rubber guns, and amber lava, tearing through armor cars. To whom much is given, much is expected. Our freedom is in your hands. I understand the very difficult experiences you have had with past county administration and defense that was headed for 2 long years almost by compromised leaders that siphoned most of our money and did everything to destroy the foundation of this IG under my watch. They used lies and deceit to sway our people. They demonized our ARFs and fraudulently claimed to have raised 19 camps for fighters who will take over Fako. They push you away from the IG. But today, where are the 19 camps? Where are they located? They are hired spoilers, hired to stop the fight in Fako by starving and betraying the real fighters, by hailing fictitious shadows, so that when the real fighters are all gone away, there will be left none to fight in Fako. The gang of deal bringers surely closed deals with their CPDM in-laws to end fighting in Fako, and that was their strategy since 2020. When I tried to intervene, the Reverend from hell told me to my face, the president of Ambazonia from Fako has no right to interfere in Fako. She warned me, saying, "You don't know what I am capable of." Some comrades blindly supported this gang of spoilers ignorantly. But thank God, I saw their game plan from afar, and today I have been vindicated. I thank those who supported our ARFs during those almost 2 years of thievery and deprivation under the wicked claws of those two CPDM proxies in Fako County. However, at all times, I was there for you and with you, ARFs. And today we have a new leadership in Fako under the oversight of the level-headed Mullah Jimmy, assisted by our pragmatic Mullah Nick. We are still your IG. Soldier come, soldier go, barrack remain. Whoever identifies as a loyal soldier in the barracks, notwithstanding the ugly experiences and mistakes of the past, we are ready to fight with to free Ambazonia. But any child who renounces his fathers, his parents, and adopts new parents whenever he or she is annoyed is not wise. That child will be called an orphan while his parents, his real parents, are still alive. Any child who runs away from his family house at night, anytime he is annoyed, will meet with the enemies of his family someday. This is how we want to use the draft this year. We are not going to distribute the money Amazonians are contributing here as an entitlement to anyone. We are going to fund projects and take care of those who are with us in the fight or who are for us and not the enemy. All we need in return is loyalty to the cause, discipline, and accountability for every support we give to our ARFs across the board. We want to embrace all fighters. He that is not against us is for us. We will work together. We are not drafting FACO today because we want to reward or honor great ARFs in FACO. No. We are here to ensure we can pay for the change we want to see in FACO. My dear warriors, you are our soldiers, the soldiers of this liberation war. And therefore, if anyone wants to take us seriously in this liberation struggle, it is because of your brave battleground actions. We honor your sacrifices. Any thought of dialogue will be driven by the costly economic and human sabotage you inflict on the enemy as she continues to parade parts of our territory. Your patriotism is unmatched and your sacrifice is ultimate. But if you want to end this war well and fast, collaborate with whoever is fighting the enemy and not his fellow ARFs on the ground. Remain loyal and empower your government, your interim government, because just as a government without an army will be despised, so too soldiers without a government are treated like hungry militias. A hungry militia and a weak government cannot negotiate with a sovereign country for independence. We need a strong government and a strong army to succeed politically. No meaningful negotiation shall take place without your voices being represented at the negotiation table via your interim government. At this juncture, it is not who you like, but who you trust will not betray you or sell you, cash out, or get away with something. That's what matters. As your CIC, I have followed with dismay the recent infiltration of your ranks by cheap La Republique proxy bidders who will stop at nothing to sell you to the enemy. They come in all forms and shapes. I call them $100 callers. People who call you but cannot support you. They come with lying promises. They want to tell you what you must do for them. I have warned you to be wary of those who you accept or to unite with. I'm not against sensible collaboration, as you have demonstrated with ARF's sister forces in Meme over the years. As guerrillas, your survival is pegged on intelligence, utmost discipline, trust, and loyalty towards each other. Please, ARFs, never buy a fish without examining the head. Some of you are added into WhatsApp groups without you knowing who created it. What is that person's track record? And what is his objective? You follow video vendors to produce transaction audios for people you are not sure you know and trust. Please, before you believe a book, sometimes it is necessary to know who the author is and what his objective is. Never go into war with anyone you do not know or trust. There are many gold diggers at this stage of our struggle, doing all to cash in on your blood. They will try to use you if you are not smart. As your CIC, I call on you all to be disciplined and loyal. Do not sell this match to cheap spoilers. If we fail, you will be the worst losers. Many are now interested in what you will do for them and not what they will do for you because they have nothing. Your interim government under my stewardship is committed and steadfast in her resolve to make sure our final destination, Boya, is a reality. That's why for over 3 months now, week after week, we have met to contribute financially towards the sustainability of our resistance. Tonight is your turn, dear ARFs of FACO, ARFs of Ambazonia. We are here tonight to continue our commitment to hold our own bargain of the national draft as financial warriors, while you keep yours as battle warriors. I'm sure Ambazonians tonight will go the extra mile to support your self-defense endeavors as you continue to rattle the enemy in our nation's capital territory. Dear sons and daughters of Boya, Moyuka, Tiko, Victoria, and Idino, fellow financial warriors and supporters of the Federal Capital Territory, in fact, all Ambazonians, as one of you, a son of Fako, I know how attached we are to our roots. Destiny has made it so that the Federal Capital Territory, Fako, is like a mother hen which gathers all her chicks and accommodates them at all times. That's why the demographics of our capital territory is so diversified, and every Ambazonian from any local government in Ambazonia has the right to claim the capital territory as his nation, as his place of origin. True to our nature of hospitality, our forebears were welcoming to all and sundry, and we cannot be different today. The Ambazonia we dream of must mirror the legendary hospitality of the capital territory, where every Ambazonian can feel free and thrive in any part of Ambazonia where he or she decides to live or reside. Fako is the rainbow county of Ambazonia. That's why our financial warriors drafting for the Federal Capital Territory come from every local government in Ambazonia. All of us, Ambazonians, must claim our capital territory and draft for its defense. By our patriotic financial acts tonight, let's send a clear message to the enemy that nothing will stop us until our command structures are set up in Boya. That is our ultimate destination, and we must get there. Please draft for our Federal Capital Territory, because every fighter in Ambazonia will ultimately fight in Boya. That is the end game. We want to make Boya, Tiko, and Victoria become like Moyuka. Fellow compatriots, I appeal to you to be good finishers. Let's make this last county draft historic, especially as it involves our capital, Boya. Let us think of the 50,000 plus innocent Ambazonians who have been slaughtered by a barbaric regime that considers us subhumans. Let us remember that we must win this war. The obstacle notwithstanding, we must take back our country or we will have none. Let us remember that we have only one option, a free Ambazonia, or we will all be wiped out in a one Cameroon setting. Federalism is one Cameroon. Special status is one Cameroon. Confederation is one Cameroon. And one Cameroon means one way to hell for a total annihilation, because these monsters that kill our brothers and cousins for pleasure will not stop killing us for daring to threaten their hegemony. They will not. It is better for us all to die trying to fight back evil than to surrender and get killed by the wicked. Let us not forget the millions of suffering Ambazonian refugees and IDPs, our children, our ARFs scattered in our territory and around the globe, whose only hope is a liberated Ambazonia, so they can regain their homes, if it has not been burnt yet, and start off again with pride and dignity. Let us encourage the young men and women who have volunteered and have put their lives on the line in the defense of our vulnerable people, our valiant ARFs. They have drafted their lives. Let us follow suit and continue our financial draft tonight for the sustenance of their mission to kick out the genocidal enemy from our territory. Let our journey to Boya begin tonight. Let the 2022 draft for Fako County, Federal Capital Territory, commence now. Viva the great people of Fako County. Viva the brave Ambazonia Restoration Forces. And God bless our beautiful country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, thank you. I know everybody's clapping. Everybody's clapping. Even in my house, there are some people behind me clapping. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Thank you, SOS.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Big one.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Cousins will
President.
hear this. They will be shaking
Wonderful.
to Boya.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, God bless our president.
Amazonia,
so much,
Amazonia.
Clapping, we clapping for our president. Wonderful, wonderful president. You are the best. You are the best. God
Yes.
has given you to us, President. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You are the
You are
president.
able, Dr. Hussein. You, nobody should your rival.
Amen. Oh God. Unbelievable. We are so
Thank
blessed.
you. Thank you so much.
So blessed. Thank you.
Yeah. Before I usher in our people who are going to bring us in the morning, Iya Irene and Tata Nijo, I just want to tell Paddy and Mula Reverend Leonga